Yo, what's going on? Hey, I'm here with a client. I'm training him in his house. His name's Brian,
How are you?
and he's turned into a friend, as most clients do. We found that we have so much in common. So Brian's story is very unique, and that is that at the junior or senior in high school, playing on Christmas Day, playing football with his buddies, had a spinal injury and was a quadriplegic. And so the nutshell of his story is that he chose a strong mind and he made it a tool, and he's been relatively successful in life. And he went out in the corporate world, had a decent career where he could feed his family, had a family, adopted how many kids? Three, and he decided that he wanted to get out of that corporate environment and go next level with inspiring people with his story as a motivational speaker and author, and been doing that for quite a few years. And he has a non-for-profit organization called SOAR, SOAR, like soar like an eagle. And with the funds, he takes people that are wheelchair bound outdoors, hunting and fishing, because being outside is super important at not being depressed slash recovering some trauma that anybody's had. So
Correct.
I find his story incredibly intriguing, and we're very common, have a lot of commonalities. And if you've been following me very long, you know that I'm a mindset reset guy. No matter what happens, when you crash and burn, you got to get back up. Well, let's just say this. Life comes at us super fast and furious, and especially today in the microwave got to have now society. And we're really in control of nothing except one thing, and that's how we react to what comes at us. And you got two choices. There may be a variation, but in general, two choices. A personal responsibility, step up, I can do it. I got the tools, and whatever it takes, I'm going to come at it. I'm going to get back up and take another swing. Like Rocky says, not how hard you get hit, how hard you can hit.
And keep going forward.
It's how hard you can get hit and get knocked down and get back up again and just keep going forward. It's the Rocky story. Or the other one is, poor me, it's not my fault. Look what I was born into, the bad accident, the politics, the parents. Personal responsibility is the opposite of that. The poor me, lack of personal responsibility, means that you don't have to change because it's not your fault. The other people got to change. So you're not going to change. And that's a weak mindset. I've said in the past that the 10 most powerful two-letter words in the world are, if it is to be, it is up to me. And I think Brian typifies that more than almost anybody I've ever met. Brian, you were on the ground that day. You got taken to the hospital. Was it Christmas Day?
It's the day after Christmas.
Day after Christmas. And they said your spine's severed, you're quadriplegic, can't move your arms and hands. So here's what Brian gave me is why he picked the high road as far as personal responsibility through that really tough time at such a young age as a man. Has to do with his father, Bud, in my opinion. So 2 to 3 weeks after the accident, Brian's in the hospital and rehab, and his dad comes up, and Brian's in a bad mood, which is freaking totally understandable, right?
Definitely.
And Bud basically gets up and says, listen, if you're going to have this kind of attitude, and how the way you go, the way our family goes. How many siblings did you have at the time?
I had two sisters.
Two sisters. Were they older or younger?
One older, one younger.
So your dad basically put the pressure on you and said, Brian, if you wither in this chair and you cry and you are weak-minded, this family's going to go down. Right?
Basically, he put on his overcoat and said, the way you go is the way the family goes, and I'm not going to come up here anymore if you're going to be in a bad mood. And took a couple steps toward the elevator, and I said, okay. And that was, I think, a defining moment where it was on my shoulders to keep the family up. Because now what? You got hurt, now what? You got injured, now what? You got knocked down, now what? Now you've got a choice, and I've been blessed to choose getting up, rising up, moving forward with everything I do. And it's about balance. Step up physically, you got to step up mentally, you got to step up spiritually. You have choices in all those balancing acts that we juggle today.
And to get to this point, what's your age now?
56.
So from 17 to 56, you've had a lot of ups and downs, and you've had to overcome a lot of challenges, freaking obviously.
Yes.
Right? And so now you're ready. You hired me because at this age, your body's anabolic hormones are falling. Things aren't the same. It's tougher for you.
Correct. And you don't know what you don't know, and you can't do it alone. None of us could do it alone. I couldn't be successful in corporate alone. I couldn't be successful as a father alone. I couldn't be successful doing anything alone. So at some point, you've got to bring on somebody.
And you said bring on me for like a healthy lifestyle coach, energy
Yes.
kind of guy.
Yes.
We're about 3 weeks into the program. Today's workout was, from my perspective, unbelievable. I did some restricted blood flow on his biceps. We did chest and biceps. We split his body in half. He's using his spinal erector muscles coming forward, and then he comes back, and it was just an amazing workout. Just give us a little, from your perspective, what was the workout like today?
Oh, it was hard. It was the way you isolate muscles and the way you work muscles definitely fatigues them quicker, and you can feel it. But it's not just the physical workout, it's the mental workout. It's what your mindset's doing, going slow, concentrating on the muscle that you bring that I think really fatigues you, which is really where I want to get with the workouts. Not just work out and say, I did it, put it to the side. Next, I'm going to feel this.
Brian's doing amazing. He's doing probably better than my clients who don't have a physical limitation. I always said in the past, I like getting hold of people in wheelchairs and diseases because they had something taken away and they try freaking harder. And they're easier clients. Brian's about my 12th to 14th guy or girl that's had a physical challenge that's doing fantastic. Fat loss is a part of it because as you get heavier, you can't move around and you don't have your legs are here, but they don't work. And so we got to keep the rotator cuffs healthy, and we want to bring some fat down. And the other things of sleeping better, better mood, better energy, increasing your libido, just naturally being more in your power zone is important too, but the fat loss is part of it. And today we did his first weekly waistline check-in, and he did hit his weekly waistline goal, which is a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. He's got right in there with 5/16 off. How'd that make you feel?
Well, I feel good. I'm going in the right direction, and it's hard work, but it's work that's needed, especially if I want to accomplish the things I want to accomplish moving forward.
And just to let you know, I train him the exact same way I train everybody else. It's the same pillars, the same systems. Anybody can do this. It's not about my program, though. It's about the message that Brian puts out with his SOAR program, and he raises funds for his not-for-profit so he can help other people that are in wheelchairs. So let's not lose sight of what Bud, your father, did for you. A defining moment. He stepped up. He drew the line in the sand. He was not going to enable you, and you had to make a decision. Can you remember that day and tell us a little bit more about it? Were you scared? Were you like, I got to do this? It's easy. It's hard. Did you think the threat that your dad, Bud, gave you was real?
It wasn't a threat. I mean, I never took it as a threat.
He was being real.
It's just the way it was. I mean, that's life. It is what it is. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. And I didn't feel sorry for myself. It was my responsibility as a man. And that's the way I took it. I took it almost as a challenge. And I wasn't going to let my parents down.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. If you guys like this, let us know. We'll do a weekly one, and we'll learn from each other. But I want to do a little exercise, and that is I'm going to give an example of what we call a mindset reset. Because if you get crushed down and you have a nervous breakdown, or you get a divorce, or you lose your job, we can all relate to that stuff, right? So we got to reframe it, and we got to come. If we're going to take personal responsibility on it and improve ourselves, when we get knocked down, it could be the worst time we've ever got knocked down in our life. You guys have heard my story, hopefully. I've been very transparent in the past. When you get at your lowest point ever, you get rock bottom, we say that could be the firm foundation for the first time to learn from your past failures and inadequacies and learn from the lessons. Take the lessons and learn it, and then start to rebuild, because the foundation is more firm and you're smarter with your wily on life, right? Correct. So that's what you need. You need that. And you got to look at those life lessons as a tool. So I call it mindset reset. And I think I'll just have that be mine, is that when you get knocked down, use it as like, can I learn a lesson or two? I say, look in the rearview mirror 5% of the time to learn a lesson about yourself. To learn a lesson, you have to be willing to admit, I was wrong. I wasn't doing it right properly. Not everyone can do that. Would you agree?
I agree. And looking in the rearview mirror, you also have to look at all the things you've overcome.
Victories, you got to celebrate.
So looking in the rearview mirror, I agree, don't look in it a lot, but also remember, there's a lot of victories in that mirror too, and a lot of times that you've overcome something, you've been challenged, and you've risen up. Don't forget how strong you really are or can be.
But just remember, if you're by yourself, Brian needed his dad to draw the line in the sand so he could step up. I needed someone. I had like 3 or 4 people to pull me out of my nervous breakdown. It took 1.5 years. So if you want to lean on us, me and Brian, I bet you Brian would just get up in the middle of the night to help somebody.
Any day, any time, anywhere.
Yeah. What time?
That's simple.
And because we know how fragile life is, and I didn't take my own life, but man, I was getting close to checking out. I was checking the life insurance policy to see if my kids would get the money, you know. So I think this is good stuff, man. So your body is healing. Your body's doing better. We've been 3 weeks into this program, right?
Oh, very much so. It's not just about the body. It's about my habits. It's about the goals I'm setting. So it's about balance. So I'm balancing not just my eating, but my mindset, and physically I'm balancing my exercise.
What can you tell people? What's helping you with eating small meals often, working out with weights, staying off the technology, trying to go to bed earlier and sleep better, and wake up and have some quiet time where you can focus? What's 1 or 2 things that's helped you in our program, getting healthier, this healthy lifestyle program? What's a couple of tools?
Well, I mean, holding me accountable with the sheet you give me every week to have 4 small meals. So I've been watching my portion control, and I think that's really important. I watch my pop intake and try to drink more water. That's important. And the way I exercise, even when you're not here. The way I focus on the muscles that I'm trying to work out, in thinking about the questions you'd ask me if you were here. Focus on the bicep while I'm working on it. Focus on doing things slow, doing them mentally as well as physically.
So if someone's out there and they're down, they're not moving, they're not exercising, and they're not feeling really very good, what's a tip or 2 that you'd say they could do to get I usually say this myself, but I want from your perspective, what can they do tomorrow to maybe go in the right direction of feeling like they could move and stretch and breathe and drink better, drink more water, less liquid calories, and eat better? What's something they could do?
Well, first of all, I would say don't wait for tomorrow. Start now. Stop what you're doing and do something that motivates you. Put on the movie that motivates you. Pick up the book that motivates you. Go down, grab a piece of paper, write goals, pick up the weights, go hit a punching bag. Call that person that when you get off the phone, you feel good about yourself. Don't wait till tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Start now. Start today.
Dude, I like it. Last thing. Your age is 56, 57?
56.
So it gets harder. I'm 53. It got a lot harder for me. I had to really learn some new things. And I just want to be transparent. There's something I'm really excited about that's helped me tremendously. I'm 19 to 20 weeks in, homeopathic delivery of human growth hormone that's affordable through the skin. And you've been taking it. What's your experience with it? How has it helped you? Any benefits?
It took about 3 weeks before I probably really noticed something, and that could be because of being a quad. But I noticed when I wake up, I'm not as tired.
A little easier to get going?
Yes. Better focused, more energy. I feel like I recoup from our workouts quicker than I would, and even my own workouts, I feel I recoup quicker.
Because you worked out before, you know what it feels like to work out and try to recover it. At this age, it's not easy.
No, not at all. So I have seen the effects, and I'm sure there's even better effects that ahead of me, and effects maybe I haven't noticed that you just start taking for granted because of the whole program.
How many weeks have you been taking it?
It'll be going on a month now.
Good. If someone's been watching me or you and they're on the fence and they're like, I don't know, what would you tell them?
Give it time. You got to believe in it.
But no, they haven't pulled the trigger. They haven't even said they're going to get it yet. So if they're deciding, I don't know, it seems hokey,
I don't want to say you have nothing to lose. I would rather say you have so much to gain than nothing to lose, because it's about being optimistic and looking forward. You have everything to gain. Times have changed. There's smart people out there that are creating these things. It's natural. It's homeopathic. It's not a prescription. I'm for anything that natural, and I think you owe it to yourself to give it a try.
And human growth hormone, from my perspective, it's the ultimate youth hormone. It's almost everything. Yeah. And it falls. We have almost none at 50, 55, 60. And it really changes the game on sleep, focus, recovery, mindset, mood. So yes. I appreciate that. But more importantly, I appreciate you, because you're giving me energy. Your story is fantastic.
Thank you.
And I appreciate being a small part of helping you go next level. And if you like this, comment below. We'll talk it out.
Please.
Please share this if you think someone could help. What would you like us to talk about next time? We'll do this once a week. And I think that's it. We'll wrap it up.
Have a great night.
Yeah, have a great night. And everyone here, no matter where they're at in their health, fitness, longevity path, that you have the power to change and to go faster towards thinking and feeling like your better days are in front of you versus behind you. And when you feel that, everything changes.
Correct.
And it's just about momentum, just a little bit of momentum. So everyone has the power to change to make the rest of their life
The best of their life.
yeah. I didn't even tell him to get ready for that, but he popped it off there really good. Good job, buddy.